Welcome to Next Chapter Strong. From deadlifts to date nights and everything in between.
We're just a midlife couple sharing what's working for us.
In strength, marriage, and showing up for this exciting next chapter in life.
Hello, and welcome to Next Chapter Strong. I'm already nervous because this topic is one that has been on my mind and on my heart for a long time. Since 2020, actually. And I've been very open sharing my weight loss struggles over the years, my weight loss journey, how I lost 25 pounds recently at the age of 50. But I wanted to go back, and I was really nervous deciding whether or not I wanted to share this. And I talked with Garrett about it. And it's just something that I need to let go of. I'm already getting emotional. You take over.
Well, I think that it's great that you're sharing this. I don't think it's anything that you need to hide. It's nothing bad. I think that this is going to be really eye-opening to a lot of people, men and women both. I think women are definitely much more pressured by society. I know that's a really broad term, but friends and things they see in media and social media and certain standards that they feel they have to be held to. And it's completely unrealistic. And it's also, in a lot of times, in a lot of ways, really unhealthy. And people will go to extremes to try to meet whatever that ideal is that's in their head.
Yeah. So I think I felt at the time like I had done everything, right? I was 44, 45 years old. I've literally tried every single diet, every workout imaginable, and nothing was working. And I was frustrated. And along with that, I had an issue with after breastfeeding, two boys, my breasts were two completely different sizes. And I hated that. I hated that about myself. And I was very self-conscious of it. And so one day in 2020, it all happened really fast. I went with a girlfriend of mine who had an appointment with a plastic surgeon. And I had always wanted to fix my breasts, but I did not want implants. I knew that about myself. And when I heard of a procedure that they could do called fat transfer, first of all, I said, I think I invented this procedure years ago, because I used to say, why can't I just suck the fat out and give it to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But when I found out, oh my God, you can actually do that, I went with her, and it all happened really quickly. I just wanted to know about the fat transfer, to take out fat from my stomach area, which was my problem area, and put it into my breast area to even out my breasts. Well, all of a sudden, I'm talking to the surgeon, and before I know it, I'm getting a mini tummy tuck alongside of it, which is major surgery. And again,
It's all major.
It is, but this was 2020, the end of 2020. We were all homebound. I thought, well, I can just do it and nobody really will know because we're not going anywhere anyway. So why not? And I talked to you about it and you were supportive. You were not like, don't do it. Right? I don't remember.
Well, I don't ever remember talking about it, really. You move quickly, right? One of the things that's great about you is that when you set your mind on something, boom, you go and you do it. If I was to do something like this, any surgical thing, I would probably take a couple years, right?
You would.
Because I would research every aspect of it.
Maybe she gave me a COVID deal or something. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I just remember it happened really quickly. But I also want to make it clear to everybody that's listening, I never had an issue with any part of you physically at all.
I know.
So this was something that
But it wasn't about you.
No, I know. But I don't want people to think like, oh, her husband made her do that. Not at all. This is completely your decision, and I understand this was important for you mentally, really, more than anything. So the next thing I know, I was taking you to Lafayette to a surgical center.
Yeah. Well, and I think just the frustration of I had figured out my health challenges, right? I was, in a bad way for many years with migraine headaches, back pain, and I was feeling great. I was feeling good. I had energy. I was sleeping. My anxiety was gone. And I thought, okay, why can't I lose the weight? Looking back, the doctor should have said, first thing, have you had your hormone panel done, right? I was 45. Of course I was in perimenopause, but nothing was talked about. Like, she didn't ask me, what's your diet? What's your workout regimen? It's just let's do surgery. And I'm not here to bag on women that do whatever they want to do to look better and feel better. I say go for it. I'm here to say I have major, major regrets doing it, because within a year after doing it, the weight was back on. Why? Because I didn't change my habits. And so that's why I'm so freaking passionate right now about women doing it the right way, no matter how long it takes, doing it so that it lasts, and doing it, not risking yourself with surgery or with, injecting yourself with God knows what to lose weight quickly. And it's like, I just feel like that's the message I want to share right now, is that nothing that happens quickly is going to be sustainable.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think I wanted to go back before we even get past the surgery part, because any surgery is major surgery, right? Like you're cutting open the human body. And it's remarkable what surgeons can do. These are some of the most gifted and, just talented people ever. It's absolutely amazing, but it's surgery. What I want to talk about was I couldn't remember how that went. The aftermath of the surgery too, because when you came home, I wasn't prepared for this. You were wrapped up, from ribs to waist.
Yeah, I don't think I was prepared either.
Gauze and sterile bandages, and you've got tubes running out of all kinds of places on you, and collection bags, and you may not even remember all that because I know you were in kind of a daze, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And just getting you into the car, getting you out of the car, getting you upstairs, getting you into bed, where you stayed for 3-4 days.
Yeah, a few days.
It was a while, right? And we're constantly checking these tubes, make sure they're draining, make sure there's no infection.
I don't even remember all that.
You could hardly even stand up.
Yeah.
They just had cut into your abdominal area. So there's a lot that goes into that too.
Yeah, sure.
It's very easy, I think, when you go in for the consultation, we're going to do this and that and this and this. Oh, you can add this for this price, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
It was like, for, this amount, we'll upgrade you to this. And I was just like, okay. Like, I don't think, looking back, what a freaking idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't.
Well, but that's okay, because I don't know that anybody necessarily knows what they're thinking when they go through that. They're just desperate for a change.
Yeah.
Right? They're desperate to meet an ideal. They're desperate to get something to work. And it's not that you hadn't done anything. You'd done a ton of stuff. I remember when you did the P2P program.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, so 2 years prior to that is when I lost 25 pounds doing... The first time, doing P2P, which was a local gym that had a... challenge. It was like a 6-week challenge, and you paid $500, and if you lost, I think it was 20 pounds, you got the money back. And so I did, and I was successful at that, but it was absolutely miserable. It was brutal. I was eating tilapia and asparagus, and it was not sustainable. And so when I started eating regular again, I gained even more weight back. And I think that was the catalyst for me. I was so frustrated. Like, here I am. I just spent, all this time and energy and effort to lose weight, and now it's back on again. Like, is anything going to work for me? I was at a low point. I was.
And I never ate any of that tilapia, but to this day, I don't have a desire to ever eat it just from smelling it.
And I've never had asparagus since, or tilapia. I haven't.
But that's a great lesson too, is that if you restrict your diet that much, and if you force yourself to only eat these foods, right, and only in these amounts, if you go from having this, let's just say, kind of a typical American diet, which is everything, right? We have all kinds of different cuisine options here. We got fast food, we got whole food, we got everything in between. If you make such a radical change where you change 90% of what you're eating, yeah, sure, you can do that for 6 weeks when there's $500 on the line. You can't do that for 6 years. There's no way. Like, that program is designed for failure.
Yeah.
It is, because it's completely unsustainable. So a much better approach, and this is what you learn later on, is make those small changes. We've talked about this a little bit before, but I remember when we were talking with a friend of ours, he was trying to get off Dr. Peppers. He was drinking something like 6 Dr. Peppers a day, right? I mean, it's a horrible habit, but I get it. We all have bad habits, right? Who doesn't? But he was like, I'm cutting out Dr. Peppers completely.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I'm just going to drink water, and I'm going to drink Axio, and that's it. It's like, okay, I love your intensity, right? I love that you've got this enthusiasm, but I don't want you to stop drinking 6 Dr. Peppers. I want you to have 5. Cut down to 5.
Yeah.
Do that for a couple of weeks. Once you get used to that, then a few weeks after that, go ahead and cut down to 4 and give yourself 6 months to wean yourself off Dr. Pepper. Don't do it in a day.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with what you did there. Yeah, you had awesome results, but my God, you're eating 1,000 calories a day consisting of tilapia, brown rice, and asparagus every day for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
No human on earth that I know of is ever going to do that long term. So it's break that down. Instead of having a 6-week goal, have a 6-month, have a 3-year goal. Do something that's sustainable, which is eventually what you got to.
It's eventually what I got to. And yeah, I mean, I remember when we moved to Arizona, I was, at the height of my weight for sure. And I went to a functional doctor who specialized in weight loss. And I remember talking to her, and she has every single weight loss pill, drug, peptide at her disposal. And we discussed peptides. And I wasn't ready to do that yet. And I'm glad now that I didn't, because I know I would be right back in that cycle. It would happen quickly. I would stop. It would come back on, and I would be right back to where I was. And I was just ready to break the cycle. I was ready to figure it out, and I did. And I did it with an all-natural system that worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. Worked for me. But above that, I think finally listening to you, eating more, prioritizing protein. And at the end of the day, the number one thing that I have implemented in my life that has made the biggest change of all is lifting weights. 100%.
I just had this conversation with one of the guys I work out with, Ken. He was talking the same thing about his wife. Had a very similar experience where he was just trying every new diet that's out there, trying to meet this kind of unrealistic standard, and just not being successful, and ultimately getting incredibly frustrated by it. And he said the same thing. He said, once you started lifting weights intensely, that's when all the changes happen.
Amazing.
And he and I got in this discussion. I said, if you can only do one thing, if it's between low steady state cardio, which is where you're just walking on a treadmill, or lifting weights, just lift weights.
Yeah.
You're better off doing that.
Yeah.
And if you can incorporate some type of, intensity training where you're causing your heart rate to spike, like you're doing almost interval training and sprinting, even better. There's nothing wrong with cardio. Is great. You still need it, right?
Yeah. I walk every day.
And that's still incredibly beneficial. So if you have the time to do both, do both. If you can only do one, just pick the weight training.
Yeah.
It's going to be way better for you in the long run.
Well, I sweat way more lifting weights than I do on my treadmill or walking. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're building muscle.
Yeah.
The more lean mass you have on your body, the more metabolically active, your higher your basal metabolic rate's going to be. The more calories you're going to burn even just sitting watching TV.
Yeah.
A person with a greater amount of lean mass is going to burn more calories than a person with less lean mass.
Yeah.
Because of the basal metabolic rate.
Yeah. And let's talk like the whole low carb,
They're all fads. I mean,
fad.
If that works for you, great. Like I know people that have done carnivore for years. Great. Like that works for them. It's sustainable for them. I couldn't do that. I know people that have done ketogenic diet and they've done it for very long periods of time. That's fine. I don't know a lot of people that have done that successfully for a long period of time. I hated it. It sounds awesome at first, right? I'm going to eat cheese and I'm going to eat meat. I'm gonna do this. Again, that gets old really quickly without variety. So it's back to that point of making small, sustainable changes. Right? It's things that you can do long term, and the changes are small enough to where, maybe it causes a little bit of, I don't want to say discomfort, but a little bit of, and maybe it is a little bit of discomfort, right? Okay, I'm going to change this one little thing, but eventually it becomes a habit. Once that habit is established, then it's just part of your life.
Right.
I'm no longer having those 6 Dr. Peppers. I'm down to 5. Great. We still got a ways to go.
Right.
But that's a nice little improvement right there.
And I think that's the problem that I know I can speak for myself and a lot of people in my circle. That's our issue with this peptide craze right now. I am 100% in favor of peptides for people that have diabetes or that are obese and need to lose weight. To get, heart disease is the number one killer in America right now. So I understand that. But when I see these young, healthy girls injecting themselves with synthetic drugs to lose 10 pounds, it literally makes my head want to explode because I know what's going to happen. They're going to lose the weight, then they're going to get off of it, and it's going to come back on even more so. God knows what other health issues are going to come about. But, when we're just talking weight, there are other things you can do do to lose those 10 pounds that are going to last forever. And I figured that out now. And with my coaching program, Faster Way, I have learned that I can eat. I want to eat. I don't want to not eat. Like, it's the worst way to lose weight. So again, I plan how much I'm going to eat. I love eating protein. I love carb cycling. I still eat carbs, but I cycle them. I love lifting and progressive overload. Like, the whole program, I feel like, is just such a missing piece for so many women my age and younger and older.
No, I agree. And I think hearing in your voice, you can tell the excitement. You were excited about these things. You look forward to your workouts. You look forward to your eating plan. You look forward to the process, right? And having that ability to look forward to something, to have that excitement, enthusiasm, that's the key.
Yeah.
If you're not looking forward to it, if you're dreading it, you're not going to have
like my
long-term
Peloton.
compliance.
I would look at that thing and go, oh,
Exactly.
frick, I got to put these goddamn shoes on again. I hated that thing.
And it's great at first, right? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but the novelty wears
That
off.
was a COVID purchase too.
That was a COVID, and the elliptical. And,
Damn COVID.
yeah, it got expensive. But that's such an important thing for people to know too. And there's a lot of people that are looking for ways to do this. You have found a way, right? You've found what works for you. You found a system, and you found actually a company that you've partnered with that aligns with your goals and objectives and what you feel is the best way to do this.
100%.
Right. And I think that that's really exciting too, because there are people that are looking for that. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to have your success story, but everybody's different, right? So what the basic tenets are going to work for everybody, but everybody's going to need a little bit of an adjustment here and there. And so having the advances in modern technology that we have, where like you're able to track your macros by just taking a picture of your food.
Yeah.
How handy is that?
Amazing.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Right? Because it used to be, okay, I got to weigh my food. How many grams of this?
I feel like I had to be a scientist. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know, what do I have to count? Like,
yeah. And it was difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah,
right?
the AI feature is incredible.
It's just the ability to drive a higher level of consistency and compliance for people is huge. And leveraging technology to do that is huge.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much easier to have these long-term sustainable changes, which drive lifestyle changes, which result in literally long-term changes for the rest of your life. It's not a fad. It's now that's how you live your life.
Right.
I'm not crash dieting all the time. I'm not following the newest trend that comes out every 3 months. I have a system I'm sticking with consistently. I adapt it as I need to, because you can't do the same thing over and over. You got to have variety. But you found what works.
Yeah. And the group of women I'm coaching right now, there's 10 of them. And one of them was like, oh, I want to start the program, but I'm going on vacation. Awesome. This is something you can do on vacation, because what I want them to realize is it's not a challenge. It's not a diet. It's not you're in, you're out. This is your lifestyle. And if you can't go on vacation and still do this, then that's a problem. It's
a big problem.
Yeah.
Or if your mindset is, well, I'm going on vacation, I can't start it. Well, guess what? When you come back from vacation, you're going to be tired from vacation. You have to get caught up in all the stuff you missed at work.
There's always something,
Oh, I got to put it off till next month. Well, next month's going to come, and you'll be like, oh, you know what? My taxes are due, right? I don't have the money this month. You got it. That's not the mindset you can have. I'm going to start today. I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Every place you go on vacation, you can do a workout. You can do push-ups on the beach, right? You can go swim in the ocean.
I was on the cruise doing my
you can
workouts.
go, and you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having a system, too, that's got all these different types of workouts where it's like, yeah, if you have access to a full gym, great. Here's a workout for that. If all you have access to is your living room floor, here's a workout for that.
Yeah.
If all you have access to is your hotel room, here's a workout for that. But it drives compliance. It gets people excited. It gets people to make changes. They look forward to doing these things. And when you have something to look forward to, life is a much brighter and much more enjoyable experience.
I know my next 3-week sneak peek starts, I think, like November 8th or 12th. And I already can hear it. I'm going to wait till after the holidays.
Of course.
I'm going to wait till after Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's like, no, now's the time to do it. Let's avoid gaining the 10 pounds over the holidays, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Well, and that kind of gets me to the topic of New Year's resolutions too, right? Where that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
I know.
And this is just a tradition. I'm going to make this change.
I was a big New Year's resolutioner.
Everybody is, because it's easy to make the resolution, but nobody follows up on it because they don't know how to do it. Or they're going to go in such an extreme, I need to lose 50 pounds by March. That's impossible, right? So nobody knows how to set a sustainable goal. And then even if they set the goal, very few people have a system in place that allows them to achieve that goal. The goal is way too ambitious, right? Followed up by zero plan. Well, guess what? you're going to be exactly the same next year. You're going to make that same resolution.
That's why just small, sustainable changes that last forever and being consistent.
Yes. And take advantage of the new technology that we have. We talked about taking, your smartphone, take a picture of your food and use that. You talked about peptides and all these, there's all kinds of other drugs that are out there. I don't want to badmouth any of it because some of them, and you did a good job of saying this, they're life-saving drugs for some people. They literally are. And it's incredible. Yeah. And there's going to be more stuff like that that comes down the pike. And it's not that those things are bad. It's just that don't rely on that, right? You've got to have a system in place. Add that as the last thing, right? Once you have everything else in place, if your hormones are still so out of whack that you need to balance that and use some type of hormone replacement therapy, go for it, right? But have a system in place first that you can consistently follow, that is going to be something you can sustain over the long period of time.
All right. Well, with that, I just want to say thank you for letting me share my heart. I already feel a big weight lifted, honestly, because I know a lot of people knew, but a lot of people didn't know. And if you didn't know and you're hearing for the first time right now, I'm sorry. But hopefully this will help. Even if it helps one person to make the right decision for them, then I think me sharing it was definitely worth it. So thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Next Chapter Strong.
If this hit home, please share it, leave a quick review, and follow us on Instagram at NextChapterStrong.
And most importantly, keep showing up strong for what matters most in your life.